Ladies and
All right.
gentlemen, episode number episode number 8 of Beyond the Rift, starring the one and only, the triumphant, the best ADC in North America, soon to be the best player in North America. Your host with the most, Kitty Pie. Hello, everybody. Glad for you to join us today. Joining me today, my lovely co-host, Skara. Skara, give him a quick little, who are you?
Dude, I've been here all the time. I used to be Kitty's teammate. We're on the same, not only we're on the same team together, dude, we do the show together. I used to be a professional player, a coach, an analyst, and now I'm a streamer, so I've just been all over the place.
And joining us today, our lovely, the best of the best, everyone's favorite, CLG's former jungler. What do you prefer to be called, Dexter or I forget you.
I mean, that was my gamer tag, right? But I'm going by the real name on Twitter right now and everywhere because but yeah, I used to jungle for CLG as the name Dexter, yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
Probably by now.
Give him a quick rundown though. What have you been up to now?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much did the same thing as Skara. Have been doing the Score esports for like a year. The journalist in 2016. At the end of 2016, we started our own company, our player agency, and I've just been doing this for like the last 10 months right now. That we're helping our players get out of shitty contracts. Like we can't get them out of shitty contracts, but we help them and not be in the situation in the first place. That's what we've been doing.
Okay, fair enough. So we're gonna give a quick thank you to Discord. Discord, thank you guys for being a fantastic service that we can use to provide the hardest hitting voice activation technology in the world. And I want to give a shout out to them for allowing us to do a live question and answer segment at the end of the show. You got questions, we got answers. Come on and ask your questions, ladies and gentlemen, because we got plenty of answers. I also want to give a special shout out that Scar is going to give him the shout out. Scar, who are we giving a shout out to?
We have a new sponsor for this show. I know everyone's excited. We got Acer sponsoring us officially. They're the current World sponsor. They're also the monitor sponsor at Worlds. Your favorite players use all the monitors that you see at Worlds yesterday being used exactly by Acer. We're sponsored by them today. It's great. I love them.
Thumbs up, dude. That's what I like to hear. But let's cut the chit chat, dude. Let's dive straight into the topic. So we're gonna go straight into topic number 1. Your recent interview stated that you think player egos are still one of the biggest problems at the moment. Is ego really that limiting?
I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, I think it's a really big point to talk about. There's a lot of players who have problems with the ego thing, because I think right now with League of Legends being a big team game, if the ego would be less of an issue, then we would have better teams, right? That's the main point I was trying to make there.
I mean, is that necessarily true? Like, do you think,
right?
For me, as an NA resident, I think ego is also a big thing in a lot of North American players. But from what I've heard in the past and present, is that like ego is a lot bigger of a thing in like other regions. Namely, like I think Europe and China has like a lot of, I would say, historical ego problems. And so,
yeah.
Would you say that's true?
I mean, for Europe, definitely, yeah. We have some really big egos in some teams, yeah, and I think even the upcoming players, they feel like really entitled to being a pro when they haven't even played a single LCS game. So I think ego is definitely like a really big problem. And like you said, in North America, I really didn't have that feeling when I was playing over there. And I was playing on a team with like Doublelift, Link, and yeah. You would think that I've like experienced the egos, right? But I think the North American side is definitely a lot chiller on that side. I mean, Europe is, yeah, I think Europe has a lot more problems with that, and China maybe, than North America or Korea.
Do you think some of the egos are, like, would you say that most of the egos in Europe are warranted? Like, have they earned their ego?
I don't think so. I mean, even a player like Forgiven, who everyone thinks has like a big ego and is very hard to work with, I think at the end when he finally realized that being the bigger person and just not going into an argument makes him like better, and then he actually made a top 4 run at Worlds, and I think you can even ask all his teammates that the ego problem was not an issue anymore, and they got along just fine with him. But I think definitely before that it was a really big problem for him.
I mean, because for me, I don't think having like a big ego is necessarily that bad of a thing. Like, if you know how to keep it in check, I think that
I think that's
you should think of yourself like how, like, you should have the confidence. I'm the best fucking player in the world. I'm gonna fucking roll these kids. I'm gonna destroy everything. But like, you know, if someone's like, hey, dude, that wasn't. Maybe you shouldn't have been pushing out top, dude. And if you just fucking explode, you fucking idiot. You didn't back me up. This is all your fault. Like, that's a problem. But I think having a big ego, like, because I think I have a big ego, and I don't think it's necessarily that bad of a thing. Sky, you can correct me if I'm wrong, though.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, so I don't think it's that bad of a thing, but you gotta learn to keep it in check. Do you think that they should get rid of their egos completely and try to, like, because I don't know, for me, egos too they're like interesting. Like, I like seeing someone that thinks that highly of themselves. I don't know. I think that it makes someone more of an interesting character than just, I'm a team player and we're all gonna do our best to work together.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can keep it in check, then it's fine. But I think the second it becomes a problem and you affect others with it, I think that's when it becomes like a bigger problem. And I mean, it's not like a secret that Europe, for example, has a lot of problems with like practice and how we like view scrims and everything. And I think ego is definitely one of the bigger problems because, I mean, we have a lot of issues in North America. You have that to an extent still as well, right? And yeah, I think for European players, it's probably the bigger ego reason why a player is not playing in LCS right now because he thinks he's better than everyone else and it's like trash talking them. And we have so many talented players in Europe right now that could play LCS if they had less of an ego and would be more reserved. But sadly, they have the chat function that restricts them from going to LCS.
Like, you think there's that many like nuggets and wow?
Yeah.
I mean, because
Europe for sure.
I know in NA, like, I'll play. So I don't think there's anyone that I'm like, man, dude, if you could get your ego under control, you're gonna make it in the LCS, dude. Like, I don't think I've played against any. Like, I think there's people that, you know, they say some things that definitely questionable, like telling someone to kill themselves. I don't want to really consider that an ego thing. That's just a mental issue thing. So there's a couple of people with like mental issues that I think could work that out. But yeah, that's interesting. Europe. I remember when I played on Europe. I played to Europe to get the Challenger. I ended up getting the Challenger in there, but that had to be like one of the shittiest regions to play solo queue in because it was just, I don't know what it is with. I played on EUS. I don't know what it is there. Everyone tries fighting each other, and it's just like, I don't know if like racism's a big thing. You just hear people like constantly like, you're Polish, fucking whatever the fuck people say. You're Russian, you're fucking, just like everyone would just go at it free for all. Like we'd be winning and they just start flaming each other. It's like, okay, well, yeah, this is great.
I think it's definitely a problem. Like, I mean, racism in general, I think is a lot more common in Europe because I think a lot of players have been encountering that issue, and I'm not sure if it's like if it's like the intention behind that is like really bad. I mean, obviously racism is really bad, but I think the intention is not really clear to like a lot of these young players that are 15 or 14 or 16 maybe even. So, but yeah, it's definitely like a really big issue in Europe, I think, on that part, and I don't know if it has something to do with ego, but the racism is definitely like very prevalent in Europe right now, or has been for like the longest time.
Yeah,
I remember playing.
Yeah, because I can definitely see ego playing a huge part in that. Because I don't ever see that shit in like NA solo queue, but when I played on EU, it was just fucking everyone going at it for the long. Like, I can't play on that fucking server ever again because it was just like, I just got so tilted just watching chat. Just fucking, it'd be like my Twitch chat. It'd just be fucking scrolling text of like everyone writing essays to each other. It's just like, just play the fucking game, dude. Just shut shut the hell up already. I fucking yeah. That region.
I think I would enjoy playing League of Legends solo queue. I think I would still play the game from time to time if the chat wouldn't be in the game, or I could experience like the North American solo queue. People don't really want to win there, maybe, but it's nicer, everyone is nicer, so it's not as much of a hassle to actually play the game.
Dude, okay, real talk about like this European toxicity. Like I don't know if that's what I would call it or like ego problem, but it was just, I still remember way back when me and Kitty competed, we went over to Europe for like one of the first times ever. It was like we were going for like, I think it was our Hanover run. Okay, cool. We're there, it's a new country, it's all great and dandy, and then we started scrimming European teams. The first European team we scrimmed, after we played them, I think we beat them like a little bit, whatever. We went even, give or take. They come out of the practice room, they're like, oh, you guys are pretty good. And like all the other European teams here are complete garbage. Like just trust us, you guys are good. We're great. You guys are good, and everyone else sucks. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting mindset. We scrim another block with a different European team. They come in and they say like the exact same thing afterwards. They're just like, all these other European teams are just terrible. This player just complete awful. Such garbage. Can you believe he did this? And I'm just like, wait, they're not joking. Like every single player just thought they were like better than every other team and every other player there.
Yeah. It was still like that for sure.
It was very eye-opening when that happened. I was just like, wait, this isn't like friendly banter. This is like they're serious.
Yeah, that shit confused the hell out of me too, because I was like, damn, are we really that good, or is everyone just fucking angry at each other, or what the fuck is going on, dude?
They were probably sarcastic about you guys being good too, right?
Yeah,
they may be. Who knows?
100% they probably were. They're probably like, these guys suck too, but like those other Europeans, they suck more. It's like, I don't know. I just got, it was really strange. Very interesting culture when I first met some European players.
Yeah, ego is an interesting topic, but let's go on to another one. So you've recently started a talent agency to represent players. There's been a lot of these that started and stopped over the years. What makes yours different?
Okay. So yeah, I think I started my company last year in December because it was off season, obviously, and I felt, especially in the European scene, that a lot of problems with player contracts, and I think the contracts are still a lot like really bad in Europe in comparison to North America, because I think we're still like 2 or 3 years behind in terms of quality of contracts. It got a bit better when Riot really enforced rules on all German teams that they have to have employment contracts and have them like enforceable, otherwise the team would get fined. I think Origin got fined for like 10,000 euros because they didn't have employment contracts ready. But in general, I think the main reason was just to help out players. We've been obviously helping out like big names like SOAS, Junkers with their contracts. And I partner with Ferris. He's agent, it's a Twitter tag, and he's been doing the North American side of things. And I think from that, we just saw what we can do to help our players. And we have really helped out, I think we have helped out 50 players right now in the last 10 or 11 months. And we recently just partnered up with PressX, a North American-based Los Angeles company that has a lot more resources to it. And I think the workload that came with it and the contracts that are going to be worked on, I'm not really as suitable. I can't really work on these contracts. I need a proper legal department to make it everything a lot more professional. So that's why we decided to really partner up with someone to have a lot more resources. We want to bring a lot more endorsement deals to players, which is probably going to happen. It's going to shift to more endorsement deals for all the players. And yeah, that's what we've been doing. We just help our players find teams, upcoming players find teams, or put them on the radar of all with all the teams, get them tryouts. And for the bigger players, we have to really negotiate a lot better deals for them.
How willing do you said that you had you helped out 50 players in NA and stuff. How willing do you find it for people to want to get help for their contracts? Because I know when I used to be a player, I don't know how my contract was. I'm sure that it was fucking garbage. Sky, did you ever get your contract checked out?
I had some people look at it, and I think the best thing that they could say about the contract was that it was not great. And at that point, I was like, it's esports. I expected it to be not great. Like I was much more worried about getting stuff paid on time, and so like no one negotiated. It was just like the Wild West, you know.
Yeah, so do you feel like there's a lot of players that are actually willing to get help? Because I know I definitely should have asked someone to like look over the contract, because I'm pretty sure it was fucking awful, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. If I think every player should at least get a lawyer to look over the contract, not really necessarily like get an agent, but I think for what we can do to the player or provide them value is we can just tell them how their market value is, right? We can check out all the teams and see what they're willing to pay for that player. Or in some cases, we even got like a player, I think like an 80 or 90% increase in salary. I think that was like one of the biggest increases where he was so underpaid for his like status and for his social media range and everything what he gives to the organization that I was like, yo, you were seriously consider signing this? And it's like, yes, like, yeah, I thought it was good money. And then we got him like a way better deal. And then the cut that we took from it was like non-existable. You know, we actually helped them out to get so much more money and be so much more valuable to the organization because, yeah, we just told him, yo, you're getting underpaid, dude, you know, 100%.
Okay. I have a question a little bit on the salary side of things. So we're going to franchising, and like everyone's pretty much asking like, what are the salaries? You know, like how much are people getting paid? Can you give us a glimpse onto like what kind of the salaries look like from like the EUNA and or at least the very least, I'm curious, does EU get paid significantly worse than North America?
Yeah, like I think with North America franchising this year and Europe switching to 24 teams, I think the average salary in Europe is going to go down by a lot, while the North Americans' average salary is going to go up by a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to like 2013 or 14 salaries in Europe, just because I don't see 24 teams paying 100,000 euros per player. You know, I just don't see it. I don't see the teams being there. We just saw that PSG pulled out, Unicorns officially supporting H2K in their decisions as well. I think the player salaries in Europe are going to go down by a lot, if anything.
You think they're going to go to
in North America?
You think they're going to go to like 2013 salary? Because like that's like fucking nothing.
I mean, the thing is,
he played that.
Yeah.
It was like 3,000 a month. Like we were not paid very well.
Yeah, I think it could happen that it goes back to like 3,000 to 5,000 euros a month. I mean, obviously the average player salary in North America is, let me guess, I think I would probably guess around like 6 figures right now, if I put like everything across the board at least.
Damn, I mean, holy shit! Yeah, if it goes to that for Europe, man, that region's fucking. That region's gonna go boom, man. That's gonna be.
I mean, here's the thing, right? The teams are gonna come in, and there's gonna be national teams. I think, for example, in France, I don't see like 6 teams out of Paris just field a roster worthy of having so many salaries, right? So you have like national teams that have been playing in like ESL. ESL has these sub-leagues, like this very, like under Challenger League, where you can qualify to Challenger League. And I could totally see that the salaries are in that range, like 3,000 to 5,000 euros, which would be a significant like cut in what they are currently receiving.
What would be like the average of what they currently receive at the moment?
I mean, so the employment, the biggest problem with Europe right now is a lot of players are really against. They think that a 50% tax cut in their salary should not be there. So they're asking for a lot more money from the organization than they can do, because all the social securities and that all like puts more pressure on and more finances on the organization. So I think the average is probably around like 70 to 80. That's what the player gets, and then they have to pay like an additional 20% for like social security reasons, right? So I think it's around like 70 to 90,000 euros a month. Not a month, a year. Sorry.
Yeah, if it goes from like 70 to 90 to like 3 to 5K a month, and then they have to pay like the 20% social securities or whatever you said on that also, that would be.
Yeah. I mean, the players have to pay 45 to 50% taxes in Germany. So everyone is pissed, you know. No one wants to play in Germany.
Oh.
But I can understand why it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing because it helps play. But at the same time, a lot of players are really against it because they would rather play in Spain, where they're independent contractor and they can just take home more money, right?
Yeah. Damn.
Makes sense.
That's kind of rough for the players, but let's go to the next topic. So, a recent controversy about Tyler1 got a rioter fired from his job. Did Riot Sanjuro do anything wrong? There's not really anything to say about this. I don't know what the fuck the guy was thinking. Like, if you wish death upon anyone, like, in what world are you like, yeah, dude, I hope you die of fucking cancer, and it's like, dude, I don't represent the company. What do you want from me, man? I was just joking, dude. It was just a fucking joke. Like, I don't know. It was just kind of. I will say, I'm honestly surprised that they fired him because I almost expect like nothing. Like, dude, this is like when what was it? That fucking Oceanic region, Tainted Mind. It was like that shit. I was just like, you know what? They're just gonna say fuck it, just wait it out, and then just be done with it. So the fact that he got fired, good job, Riot. But yeah, I don't think anyone's like surprised. Like, oh my god, he got fired for what he said there. Who would have thought, man? But let me ask you guys this because I'm sure we all agree he deserves to be fired. But do you think it's an inside job to get Tyler1 unbanned?
100%. Has to be, right? No one is that stupid enough to make these comments.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Dude, that's
in the public forum. So
it has to be an inside job. Like, I'm 100% convinced that Riot hired like a fall. Like, this guy probably never had a job at Riot. He probably doesn't know anything about fucking League of Legends, and they just hired him. They're like, dude, we'll pay you like $100. Say some stupid shit on Discord, dude. Just take the fall, man. Just forget about it afterward. And now everyone's like in favor of Tyler1 to get unbanned off of this. Scar, what do you think?
That, honestly, I'm not huge at conspiracy theories, but I kind of agree with the both of you. Like, the likelihood that him saying this, like, okay, maybe I can understand it. You say something and it comes out badly, okay, that's a mistake. Human error. The second statement from you shouldn't say something like, dude, I was just kidding, man. Like, I don't speak for the company. Like, I was just saying what I feel, like, unassociated the company. I'm just like, wait, you can't say stuff like this. You literally, if he just kept his hands off the keyboard, it would have been like, obviously smarter. So, on top of that, they had just announced the NALCS franchising format, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But all best of one, they literally got announced the day of, or within 24 hours, this pops out. So everyone who was infuriated about franchising just instantly got sidetracked.
Perfect.
Maybe Riot's smarter than I give him credit for. That was a brilliant move by them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Riot the way there's so much shit where like Riot, like something just completely fucking stupid happened, and it's like this has to be like an inside. Like Riot is just fucking with us. They're trying to keep us sidetracked from like the real issue. Fucking Riot games, dude. Let's go to the next topic, though. Next year, NALCS will change back to double round robin, best of ones. What are your thoughts about this change? Dude, I'm happy about this change. Like, everyone's complaining, like, competitive integrity, dude. We gotta make, like, fuck all that shit. Like, ultimately, at the end of the day, like, I don't think there's anyone in the NALCS that's like, what would I rather have? LCS in the fucking trash can, no one watches this shit, and I'm just playing fucking Go for Lols all day long? Or do I want the World Championships in China? Like, I'm feeling like, best of one. I'll take a best of one, man. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, as a spectator, like, I love watching best of ones. I hate watching best of three. That shit's fucking miserable. Like, I barely tune in for him because it's like, if I only see one match, well, I got only a snippet of what's going to happen. Then it's like, well, if I'm only going to watch one, I might as well not watch any because I'm not going to see anything meaningful from it. So I'm all for best of ones. Marcel, what do you think of them?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care much about the competitive integrity side. I'm like more of a casual now as a viewer. I think as a viewer, it's just way better. You have a fixed schedule. You don't have to wait for like two shitty teams to play out a best of three for like 5 hours, and you can watch your favorite team on time. I think it's just way better overall, and that all the teams are playing on the same day again, how it was supposed to be. And I think it's for like the future. I definitely think it's like the right choice to go with best of ones for the regular season, because the regular season doesn't really matter anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean that some people would like the regular season to matter, but
The one thing I want to say is like above all of this, I'm just so happy they're not doing dual streams anymore. That was like the worst. Not only did it make like you only tuned in to watch the good teams, right? Your favorite teams. What if you were like the shittiest team in the league? What if you were Team Liquid? You know, I don't know. Did they place last? I don't even know. They were really like
T1 was fucking last. Come on. Dude.
Okay. I'm
what
sorry.
What if you were
dude,
the shittiest Team Liquid? Come on,
dude. Come on. I don't remember the difference between the 9th and the 10th place team. I'm sorry.
Hey, to be fair, I think they were 8th though. But
okay, the 8th, 9th, and 10th place team kind of mixed itself in my head. I'm sorry about that. Any fans out there, I apologize. I just want to say that. I just want to say though, like, who tunes in for these games? Like, if you're one of these orgs, you want everything to be on one stream, so that like all the viewership is very condensed. Like, and for me as like an analyst, like I watch all these games, right? I watch a grueling amount of games, and like it's just so much on dual stream. You can't watch everything. Like, if you want to be that super hardcore League of Legends fan, you couldn't even be with dual stream. It was impossible to watch both games at once because you just gotta split your thing. So I think best of ones are better than best of threes. I love best of twos. I actually do. But like, everyone seems to dislike best of twos. Everyone I talked to at Riot, all the casters were telling me, they're just like, yeah, we tried best of twos in Europe, and then like everyone hated it. And the viewers hated it, the players hated it, there was no like end thing, and I'm just like, really? People hated that. Marcel, dude, how are best of twos? You were around in Europe during that time, like, are they that bad?
I think, but simply because if you play one, I was super depressed, and I couldn't get any interview because everyone was like so depressed. It felt like they lost, and I don't know. I feel like no one wins really in a best of two, right? If it's 1-1, either 2-0 and you win, and you get completely crushed. So I think the ties for the player side is like really bad. Every single player hated best of two, I think, that I talked to, but I liked it. I think it was okay. I actually prefer the system best of two.
No, I fucking hate best of two. Dude, I say fuck competitive integrity. Like, the closer League of Legends get, I'm telling you, the closer it gets to the WWE kind of format where it's just like, and introducing, and you just have someone like burst through the fucking like screen like, it's fucking Bjergsen of TSM, and then he's got like an American flag on his shoulder, or like a Danish flag, whatever the fuck flag, I don't give a shit. Like, that shit would be, I'm okay with that, man. Best of ones is getting there, so best of ones get the thumbs up for me. Fuck competitive integrity. Let's go to the next topic now. A lot of players say that once you retire, they'd like to be a successful streamer, coach, or caster. In all actuality, how likely is this actually to occur? I mean, I'll speak from like the streamer side. You definitely, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, I stressed to, like, I talked to Poe Belter a while ago, and I stressed to him, like, dude, you just fucking stream when you can. Do it as often as you can, because, like, during your LCS career, that's the easiest time to like pick up a following. Like, people will care about you if you're streaming. Like, if you're putting in an effort to make content and you're on a team, like, even if people don't think you're particularly good, like, someone's probably gonna like you, compared to if you're done with the LC and it's like, all right, I guess it's time to start my streaming career. Like, no one's gonna know, hey, he just started streaming, let me go watch him, dude. Like, if you want to get into streaming after you retire, you need to start as soon as possible. And you could probably make it, like, maybe not get like tens of thousands of viewers, but like if you get like a couple thousand of viewers, that's pretty good. Like, you can make a living off of a couple thousand viewers. So yeah, just get started as soon as possible. How likely is it to occur? I'd say it's pretty likely if you put in the time and the effort.
Oh, all right. Hold up, Dexter. I'm gonna talk about this. I think that there's like this idea that like every player should be a streamer, and I don't necessarily think that's the case. Like, I think some people just aren't like good at streaming. They're like not good entertainers, not good and even a lot of not good content creators, like they just like suck at pushing out content. And I think the idea that like everyone should aspire to be a streamer is just like something that people push onto them because it's like you don't know kind of what your future is after you put out. Like,
I mean, wait. I'll say, I don't think everyone should be a streamer. Like the thing is, like I don't know how else to phrase this, so I'm just gonna be honest. Like if you blow dick in the LCS, dude, like you're not gonna do anything afterward related to legal. Like no one wants to watch a terrible fucking player just suck dick the whole time. Like that's just the reality of it. Like I talked to Scar about this. He asked me, what do I think is like the most important quality to like being a good streamer? You need to be like first and foremost, you have to actually be good at the game. Because if you're not good at the game, no one gives a fuck about like watching you. Like if you're just complete garbage, like oh shit, dude, I'm just fucking feeding my ass off every game in Bronze 5. It's like, wow, dude, I could do that. Why the fuck am I watching this stream? So I'll say that, but you can go, Scar.
I think it's more along the lines of like I think the idea that you can retire and be a successful streamer or content creator is like really bad, but not bad, but like it's like it's not easy for sure. Look at all the retired players. Which of them are like crazy?
Yeah, they fucking retire for a reason because they're fucking awful, dude. That's what I'm saying. Is like, dude, there's so many retired players. They're just fucking bad. Like, yeah, and then they try to transition into streaming. It's like no one wants to watch these garbage fucks play the game. Like, dude, I think Shifter is really good. He has a good stream. I think Dominate's really good. I think Skara, you're pretty good. I think Dyrus is pretty good. Like, I think there's people that like. You know, if Shifter went back to the LCS tomorrow, do you think that he could? You think that he could make it happen?
Maybe, probably, actually. Like, I think he's really good, but like, I think Shifter is like. Think of not of those streamers which have been streaming like their entire career. Think of the streamers that like just started full-time streaming after they retired. So the only professional player that's been successful has been Shifter. If you actually think about it, like literally, like. Think of the top streamers. I would just look at the streamers, right? Top streamers the last like full year and a half. You know, all the streamers that came up. Let's see. There's Yasuo. It's like all one trick. There's Yasuo. There's Tobias Fate. There's like I think pretty sure Anibot blew up too. And then recently, like I think Stylish is getting a lot of attention. And like all of these are one tricks. And then who else outside of these streamers have gotten big? None of the ex-pro players. None of the people who've retired.
Because they're fucking bad, though. Like, dude, the thing
are these one-trick players better?
The thing is,
tell me the truth.
Because they're a one-trick, they're good at the one champion they play. Dude, I've played with like Yasuo when he's not on Yasuo. I play with Boss when he's not on Revenge. I play with them when they're not on their main champion. Like, no one wants to watch that shit. They're just feeding their fucking ass off the whole fucking game, dude. Like, I think that those one tricks are like successful at streaming because they're good at their champions and people are like, wow, I want to watch someone that actually knows how to play the champion well. Like if you're a pro player and you're really good and you know how to play all of your champions well and you go to stream, I think that even if you're not that entertaining, like you can make something happen with it. Like you might not get again tens of thousands of viewers, but I definitely think you can make something of it.
We've talked a lot over this, Dexter. What do you think?
I mean, I think the main point is just entertainment. And to be fair, I think 99% of the pro players just suck in entertainment, right? They're not really good at streaming, and I think that's the main job, to entertain people. Not many people. I mean, you didn't name a single European player that is streaming right now that is successful on Twitch, right? I think there's a reason for that because no one is really streaming in Europe. You have a lot of bigger and better and more loyal viewership in North America. And Shifter is probably the only example that I can think of that retired and then started producing content afterwards. That wasn't really hugely popular when he was playing or wasn't really pulling the numbers, right?
Oh, dude, so, I talked to Shifter when he retired. He played 61 days straight. He streamed 61 days straight. And then he took a 1 day break. I was just like, what the? That's the kind of dedication you need to like even get something. His stream started at like a 200 viewer average. Sorry.
Yeah. I think the key to just being a good streamer is being entertaining or really, really good at the game. I think for Shifter, it's probably like mix of both because I actually like watching the stream. There's like not many people that I really enjoy watching the stream, but Shifter's stream is really good, and obviously you need to be consistent. I think if you just try to stream for like a week and then you don't really pull the viewers, like 10,000 viewers, and you just give up, it will never be like that. I think it took Shifter like a really long time to really get some traction as well, and finally people are recognizing it, and it's like a snowball effect. So I think you need to be really entertaining or like really, really good at the game. I mean, if you're both, then yeah, you're basically winning at Twitch, right?
Yeah. I mean,
all the other viewers. I mean, PewDiePie should know, right?
I'll say, yeah, with schedule is definitely one of the biggest things too. Because yeah, when I used to be a pro player, I streamed literally every single fucking day, and I didn't miss a day, or I tried not to miss a day, except for LCS days if I couldn't like make it because the games dragged on for like a fucking year, and then we got back at night because it took 3 hours to fucking get back home on the 30-minute car ride. But yeah, like schedule, you need to be streaming as often as you can. Like, because I mean, most pro players, I mean, actually, I don't know, do most pro players even play League during their off time, or?
Yeah, but off stream.
Yeah.
I think everyone is just playing solo queue for themselves, but no one really wants to put in the effort to stream. I mean, I think if you scrim for like 8 hours a day as a player, I think a majority of people really don't want to put in more effort and talk to more people. I think they just want to play for themselves until like late into the night, and not many people really want to stream. I think that's the biggest issue, that it's too much of a big schedule for like most of the people to just do that after scrimming for like 8 hours.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can understand that. Like, yeah, this is just like speaking to the people that really want to be like streamers that are pro players. Like, just have a schedule, be consistent with it, because yeah, when you first start, you're probably not going to get that many viewers. Like, ask your team, like, hey, dude, can you fucking retweet this? Like, you guys probably don't fucking do anything for me because all the teams are fucking useless, but at least fucking retweet it on your fucking stupid-ass account for me. Like, ask your team that. They'll give you a retweet. You can pick up some viewers from that, and you can just start trying to build off of that. Because, yeah, like Skara said, like, Shifter, he started off with, like, 100 viewers. Like, and now he's where he is now, where he can get, like, he's getting, like, 8,000 viewers a stream or some shit, right? Like, he's getting ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, he has, like, a really, really good numbers right now.
Yeah, so, like, it might seem very difficult to get into it, but if you just are willing to put in the effort, it's possible. But that's for the people that want to be streamers. For the people that don't want to be streamers, we could talk about coaching and casting. Do you think that your average player that plays League of Legends competitively could be a coach? I'm going to go with no, but...
No fucking way.
Yeah, like being able to, like...
No fucking way.
Like, I'll say for me personally, I'd never be a fucking coach, because being able to, like, know how to play the game and being able to articulate your thoughts in a way that, like, is meaningful to people so that they can understand what you're trying to teach them and, like, apply it into their game. It's two different fucking things. Like, I can play the game. Can I teach someone else to play the game? Hell no. I can't fucking do anything. Like, I don't know how to use fucking words to, like, mean anything. So I'm going to go with probably no with the coaching.
You know what the best thing that I heard was? Like, it was like 2 years ago. I mean, I don't want to name any names, but some players were like convinced that it's really easy to build up an organization, Or like 2 to 3 years ago, I was like, yeah, man, I'm just going to form my own organization, The same like expected it and Carlos. It must be really easy, right? And I just think like a majority of people that are still playing the game, they don't really think about their future at all. I think being a coach is just like the easiest get out, right? It's like, okay, if I stop playing, I will just be a coach, because if I'm good at the game, I'm a good coach. That's what they think. But being a good coach is like just so much more. You actually need to have people skills. You need to know how to solve conflict. You need to be good at the game, knowledgeable. And if you want to be really successful, you also need to work a lot harder than all of your players together to maintain the respect and authority in the team.
Yeah, dude. As a person who used to coach CLG, like I agree with all of that. Like, people have this idea that like it's because of a lot of the players, especially earlier players in the generation, got burned by bad coaches. And it's such a young industry, right? You're gonna have the first generation of coaches, second generation coaches. A lot of them aren't gonna know what they're doing. So like, I was part of like, I think the first generation coaches, I didn't know what I was doing. I learned a lot as I was coaching to become a better coach while I was there. But still in the end, wouldn't say I was a great coach, right? And like, I think it's because a lot of these players look at them and they're like, wow, they did such a shitty job. I could do way better. And then like, it's like, it's because they're comparing themselves to like the failures of other people, you know? Because they see them day in, day out. When, in all honesty, like, just the idea of resolving conflict among 5 individuals with like ego problems is like, it's so difficult. It's like, it's such a pain in the ass.
Dude, it's a fucking kindergarten, man. And that's for like 12 hours or 16 hours a day at most times. You know, the coach is like living with them. So even if you're not technically working, you still have to maintain all this whole like persona that you have the authority in the gaming house just to maintain respect of all the people. So I would not be one, like, I got so many offers to coach like a team in Europe at times, and I always declined, even for like pretty decent money. I just said, I just don't want to do it. It's too much stress. I might as well just go play then again, you know?
All right, let me ask you.
I would not want to do that at all.
Let me ask you then the final one. Do you think a player could retire to be a caster? I'm going to go,
Absolutely.
Again, hell no.
No.
So, this is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, being able to like talk about the game as a caster, hell no. I'd say like, there's probably no one right now that I'd be like, I want to watch this guy cast a fucking game, dude. Like, let me go watch fucking Po Belter shoutcast the fucking game right here, dude. Like, dude, I don't want to watch that shit. Hell no. Like, casting is just as much as a skill as being good at the game. Like, you need to put in fucking time and effort to get good at casting, to be good at it. Like, just knowing the game doesn't make for an interesting caster. So, I think we can. What?
How many people have turned to caster? I think there's
Deficio,
yeah.
Right?
Jet, Deficio. You have Crumbs to a certain extent. Right?
Oh yeah, I guess I almost forgot about Crumbs.
Yeah, Crumbs
he went to Korea.
Yeah, Crumbs is really good though at like articulating his thoughts, so he'd make for a good caster. But I don't think there's anyone else that I know of that could cast without like any.
There was also Crepo.
Oh yeah,
Crepo was good. I think I like Crepo, but he's fun.
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of players that went on to casting, but I'd say like currently probably no. But so we agree that all 3 of these probably streamer, coach, caster. How would we rank them in difficulty of like actually being able to retire and start doing it? I'll go with streamer first. Probably coach second, caster third, honestly. Like, streaming is probably the easiest thing, and that's why I always tell people, like, fucking stream. Like, stream. Just try it out.
I think you have a good foundation if you just play in LCS already to really carry momentum, and you don't have to start from zero. Whereas if you switch to casting, you actually need to learn so much about how you pronounce things, how you say certain things. Everything needs... Like, you need to work a lot. I think Deficio, it needed him like 2 years to be where he is and be considered like maybe the best caster in League right now. It took him 2 fucking years, and he's working every single day, you know? I remember like still talking to him at 4 a.m. in the morning about like random shit just so he could get better at the game and knowing the game. I think he's like one of the hardest working people I know in League at least. So it definitely, caster is very, very hard from my perspective. I mean, I tried casting as well. I did like a couple of IEMs, but shit is way too hard, man.
Yeah.
Really hard.
I mean, I did casting collegiate finals for North America at PAX, and I was just like, this is so difficult. I would rate them hard, harder, impossible. Like, actually in that order.
Yeah.
For people.
I'd say that too, yeah. That's, alright, good tier list. Let's go to the next topic. So with the rumors of EU franchising going to 4 separate leagues, what are the chances of EU players leaving for NA for greener pastures? So, I mean, I've thought of this, hearing what you said about, like, if the salary goes to, like, $3K a month in Europe, 3 to 5K a month in Europe, 100% people are going to leave for NA. Like, without a doubt, I mean,
I think, honestly, like, my honest opinion, if you're, like, a pro player that has played for, like, a longer time already and you really want to make money, you should just go to NA. It's really that simple. Like, you should not stay in Europe to just play in a league with like shitty teams that are gonna come in and you have like 0 viewership And if you want to be like a successful streamer or whatever you want to do after that, you have just a way better chance of like actually doing something after League in North America than staying in Europe right now, right?
Yeah, like the thing is I mean, because you probably know this better than either of us, but how is like the regional, I guess, viewership and stuff? Like, is that enough? Like, do enough French people tune in to like French only streams that it's like, this is like pretty good stuff?
They have massive, they have a massive viewership. I think the German and French stream are like the two biggest ones by far, and that's why everyone thinks like EU has like a low viewership, because the mainstream has like, I don't know, 30 or 40,000 viewers at times, but then the German stream has like 20,000 viewers too at times, and the French stream maybe 15 or 16. So it's like really split between everything, and they have like a very loyal and strong viewer base in Germany and France especially.
Well, do you think that that'd be able to like, maybe with making it regional, more like French, German, or whatever region will show up to watch the streams? Because I have no idea how I'm sure Riot, they must have an idea of what they're doing. I can't imagine they're like, fuck it, man, let's just make regions. It works in soccer. Maybe it'll work in this shit. Who gives a fuck? Whatever. Like, could it possibly work out pretty well there?
I mean, I think the biggest problem for Riot Games was just like the conversion from player base to viewer. So they needed a more engaging format for like all the player base to really capitalize on that. And obviously they choose the 4 regions with the most football interest in that, because they really want to do it like a Premier League, and they want to get all these big teams involved. So they decided to go for like Germany, France, Spain, and UK. And if you think about it, like the best talent we have in League in the West, they're all coming from Denmark for whatever reason. And I don't know why, but Nordic regions are like completely left out. They just, they don't exist, There's like no interest at all from the Nordic side of things from Riot, which is understandable if they want to build something very audience focused with like the football stuff. And maybe they will change their mind, but I think overall in like the long run, like 5 or 10 years, if League is still around, it's like a really good choice. But I think next year is just gonna be a fucking disaster for Europe, in terms of like everything.
Yeah, because
I think viewership is just gonna.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if viewership goes to like the shitter, like, I don't understand like how these teams. I mean, I guess like the load that they have are going to be a lot less, because they'll be paying players less money. I don't know if like the house, like how that kind of stuff would work. Like, would it get cheaper then and all that kind of shit? Like, maybe they won't be so much in the red with it switching up like this, but I just can't imagine from like a player's perspective. Like, I want to play Europe. This is the region. Like, if I was like a top European player, this is the region I want to play in. I want to play in Europe for this shit right here.
I mean, I'd rather live in a fucking mansion in Beverly Hills in North America and play from there every single day than in a fucking apartment where I can't even have my own room in Berlin, So I think the living conditions are a lot better in North America, and for Europe, in Berlin, I would always choose. I mean, I've seen both sides, right? I've played in Europe and I've played in North America, and if I have to choose, always 100% North America. There's like no doubt in my mind.
Well, do you think that you could because like worst case scenario now, I feel like if enough good players just say fuck Europe and just leave that region, do you think that there could be some real bad shit happening? And like do you think EU LCS could collapse, or do you think that Riot would just pour enough money into it to try to keep it going?
I mean, it's not really Riot's fault that all the player salaries have increased exponentially over the last 2 or 3 years, right? It's more about like a betting war between teams, and some organizations have actually no fucking idea how much money they're spending, and they just really want to have the best player, and they're overpaying even rookies so much for what they're actually worth, that I don't think it's like on Riot's part. It's more like that Riot really doesn't really know what to do right now. And if you want to give the same support to like 24 teams right now in Europe, I don't know how that's gonna work out on the financials. I don't think that's feasible at all. So I think we are making a very big step backwards, but long-term wise, it's going to be fine.
Okay, but I have a question then. First year, you said it's going to be a step back. That means, from what I understand, a lot of the native EU players are thinking about going overseas. Maybe to North America looks pretty nice. Very green. Would you say that, in theory, how many people are looking to go overseas? Like, are we talking from like all the players? Are we talking like 20%? Are we talking like 50%? Like, how interested are people? Like, because I know you got close. Your heartbeat's close to them. Like, your ears are on the ground. What are we looking at?
Yeah, I can't really say like a percentage, but I can tell you that at least every player has considered it once to go to North America, and I'm sure that S-tier, like really good S-tier players are maybe leaving to North America. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I was an S-tier player in Europe, why the fuck would I want to stay? Like, I mean, regional like pride and all that bullshit's like great, but yeah, it's bullshit. Like, I want to if I'm getting paid $3K a month and I'm like the best fucking player in Europe, and then I look at fucking NA and what did we had CLG CEO, we had Devin on. He said that like the fucking academy teams would get like $50K a year, right, or some shit, Scott?
Yeah. Right now the academy teams are like, I'm looking at them and I'm hearing rumors of being like, 40 to 80K salary, 50 to 80K salary, which from what I'm hearing from Marcel, it could be higher than playing in one of the EU LCS.
Yeah,
for like an upcoming for upcoming rookie talent, if you want to like develop talent, I don't just see anyone paying 80K euros for like an up-and-coming talent right now. And especially from like maybe like the organizations like G2 and Fnatic, who have very strong financials or like are like a very well-established brand. I know that Carlos is like one of the smartest people in this industry from the team owning perspective. Maybe they will still like be paid over like six figures, But for like the rest, like the side, and there's a reason why PSG, for example, pulled out, right? They have tried, they failed, and they're gonna pull out of like League because it's not feasible. Because Riot is not agreeing with them at all in terms of financial situation.
I mean, do you think that, because you said it's just Riot like when I first heard like because I mean I've talked to like LCS players, when I first heard like some of the salaries they were making, I was like, damn, dude, like, I don't know anything about the LCS, but like, or anything about like teams and shit, but like, where the fuck is this money coming from? Like, I can't imagine like in Europe it's any better. Do you think there's anything that like teams can do at this point to like stop the salaries from just like growing more and more?
I mean, I think like North American teams are losing money as well, right? It's not like only Europe.
From what I understand,
they all are losing money.
Everyone except for TSM and C9 are in the red.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But I had a pretty interesting conversation on Twitter with Marty from Splice, and it's more about the valuation of the company that you get through like being in the league. Even if you make minus, you still get valuated at like a higher rate, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say I think C9 got valuated at like close to like $100 million. So even if they would be in the red, it doesn't matter because they can still take up all the investment, or can, let's say, Jack really is tired of like this esports shit and he's gonna ball and wants to quit. He's gonna sell the company for like 100 million, right? I mean, that could happen, but yeah, from like profits, no one is making profit at all. I think it doesn't really happen in League.
Well, back to the European thing. Do you know how it's gonna like? Because Riot like helps to subsidize teams, right? That happens in Europe too. Are they gonna be subsidizing like the 24 teams, or?
I mean, how much is it again? I mean, I'm not sure if the number is public, how much they're actually paying teams, but if they increase the subsidies from 10 teams to 24 teams in a region that's already losing viewership, then I'm not sure, because it's clearly not enough to like keep all the players happy and make like sense for like most organizations, right?
Yeah, like
it's simply not enough money.
That's what I'm just not understanding is from like the monetary side. I just don't understand how like Europe, how the region like functions, because it's just like, because I mean Riot wants the region to like stay alive. Like even like when they're giving like Dignitas the subsidies and shit, I was like, Dude, we don't do anything. We don't fucking deserve any money, dude. But like,
well, I didn't think that.
well, I mean that.
He
Again, I didn't think
himself.
that. Obviously, I was like, we're the best goddamn team, and we deserve more money, dude. Where the fuck is it, right?
Yeah,
but like,
that's
yeah. But like, if you change it to like 24 teams, and like, obviously, there's not enough players to field like 24 teams, so it's just gonna be questionable quality, and then Riot has to pay even more money than they're paying now for like a viewership decrease, and this shit's just, I think of like the European region, and I don't know, I just feel like I don't think that they should can the European region, but
Just say it.
I feel like they should just get rid of that shit. Dude, if they just made it the Western LCS and just made it like a 16-man team or some shit, like, I feel like it solves so many, I don't know, man. Europe's just a fucking mess. I mean, what do you think of it, Scott?
I don't know about just canning it, dude. You literally we talked about Europe for like, a good 10 minutes, and you're just like at the very end, okay, well, Europe, they're useless. Let's just throw the region in the dumpster and let's just stay within North America.
No, I mean,
it's like, I want to be able to say, yeah, we should do that, dude. I love North America. I do. But I want to say that they're doing the right thing, splitting this up correctly into different leagues. Just the first year's going to suck. It's up to Riot and the teams to make sure the first year doesn't monumentally suck to where they can't recover.
Yeah, because
I think they can recover. Hopefully.
I think the thing is, though, is like you said, it's up to Riot and the teams, and like, you gotta be pushing out content, people, like, you have to be engaging with fans, you have to be doing everything that's not happening right now, but then you need every team to be doing it, so it's like, is that gonna happen? Like, I think, yeah.
I mean, I remember like Carlos from G2, Oslot, said that he actually fucking hates playing against lower tier teams, because he's disgusted by their content, because they actually profit more to play against D2 than he profits to play against them, because he does them a favor. I think he said that in an interview or something. He's like,
that's actually so funny.
These teams create like zero content. I fucking have no reason to play against them, Like, who wants to watch that shit? And I think he has a fair point, right? If you're G2 or Fnatic, you have been involved in League, as Fnatic, you have been involved in League for like so long, for like 7 years right now, just for like random teams to roll up and take new spots, and you don't even get anything out of like the 7-year commitment to Riot and investment, right? I think that's the biggest problem for the teams, especially like in H2K, who has been placing top of the region for like the last 3 years. They have been a good and solid team, right? Always staying at the top.
Yeah.
And they basically get like zero money from Riot, like zero compensation for all these teams joining in, and the spots are gonna be a lot less worth. So I think we had like reported numbers of like 1 million when Elements got sold, and then I'm pretty sure that Misfits and Fnatic, they sold for like around half that. So that already went down by lots. And
wait,
if you had
are
more
you saying a
teams to pull,
European LCS spot?
it's fucking useless. It's not worth anything. Yeah.
Wait, so a European LCS spot's worth $500,000, or reportedly, or something?
I mean, I think I read it. Yeah, someone reported. I think it was Jacob Wolf. He reported that one of the spots has been sold for around that. Yeah.
That's fucking awful. What the fuck? I didn't realize $500,000 is a fucking lot of money and shit, but like,
I was gonna say, dude,
yeah, don't get me wrong, dude.
But here's the thing, right? Both teams were auto-relegated. It was like 500k burnt money. They could have just given me that money, and I would have had a lot more fun with it than them playing in LCS,
Ooh.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. That's damn. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Sky, you have high hopes for you think in a year the European region. Okay, you don't have high hopes, but you think in a
high hopes. You're putting stuff in my mouth, dude. I got hopes for them. If anything, I got a prayer for them. Late at night, I can go down to my knees and like put my hands together. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope it'll be successful, because if they're doing well, then like, everything does well. That's why I even have hope for the Overwatch League, because if they do well, League of Legends franchises should do well as well. So, I hope Europe turns its way around. I like that they're doing something ballsy. Just the first year is gonna be a hot mess.
I think it's okay. I think we're gonna be like a wildcard region for like 1 or 2 years, but I think in the long term it's gonna be It's going to be a lot better that way, I think, because he can just activate more players and focusing on like national leagues and everything. I think it's the way to go probably to fix that. But short term is definitely just, I don't see it happening or working out. And there have been very many people vocal about it. I think North, the team director Jacob right now, who was running Elements, he just said it publicly. He was like, yeah, EULC is like the worst investment into like any single league right now in esports.
Jesus.
He actually said that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know anything about like esports, like that kind of backing or the team, how they function and shit. But like, I just can't see this shit working out. I could only see it because like right now it's pretty much if they can break through this like invisible wall in front of them, they could maybe do something with it. But no one's making like content, no one's engaging fans, no one's doing anything with 24. I mean, people are doing it, but like.
Dude, G2 is doing it, man.
There's people doing it, but you need everyone to be a part of it because everyone has to build the stories up together to make exciting matches. Like, everyone has to want to watch all the matches, not just, like, when their favorite teams are playing. They should have every team be a favorite. And with 24 teams, is that going to happen? I'm not seeing it. I just can't imagine that all 24 teams are going to try to engage their fans. So
I don't think it's happening, no. I think the only two teams that are like, I mean, Fnatic and G2 have like the best brands in Europe, right? And then you have HOK, they tried. I think the brand is okay. They just, I don't really see it like being as attractive as G2 or Fnatic, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. So, and then the rest, like Misfits, what is Misfits doing for content? You know, they don't do anything. I don't see any content from other teams. It's not existent, you know?
Yeah.
No one is streaming in Europe.
Yeah, and
not a single pro player is streaming. They're all like, fuck this streaming
shit.
Yeah,
because I said...
Except for Sven, right? I think and their streams are actually doing pretty well. I look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if you're a good player, I think that you can make the stream work. But, like, the thing is like people have to want to push out content because it's a team effort really in the LCS. Like I know for any LCS, like everyone pushes out or tries to push out content. Like even if it's like shitty content, it's still like dude, Dignitas content. Let's be honest, that shit's fucking trash, dude. But they push it out by the fucking boatload. They're just fucking. They
do. It's definitely a quantity over quality.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like fine because at least it's something to like engage with your fans. But if you don't put like anything in there, like the whole ship goes down, and then yeah, maybe I'm just blowing it out of proportion, of course, because I don't really know how this shit works. But, like, from an outsider's perspective, I just look at this shit and I'm just like, I would never, like I've thought of, like, man, if I had it, like, if I did some, like, shit, maybe some, like, big shit, maybe I'd want to go into, like, owning an NALCS team. That's probably never going to happen. It's the stupidest fucking thing because I have no idea how to do it. But, like, that would be, I feel like that'd be a good investment. Never would I say that about EU LCS. Like, I'd never be like, let me put some money in. People don't realize, this is where the money is. This is where it's going to fucking blow up, dude. So, maybe I'm a little biased. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, the problem with Europe right now is also that if you're like a big name, for example, if I would stream in German, like when I was still playing and I would stream in German, I would get to like 2,000 or 3,000 viewers easily. But if I would stream in English, I would get like 500 viewers maximum, or 300-400, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you need to like really localize and maybe use that because I know that Junkos, for example, he's streaming in Polish, and then Chachi and Freeze are playing. They're streaming in their language, and the English streams out of Europe are just not doing that well. I think it's just way better to focus on the local market if you're a streamer to just get at least some numbers, you know. But then again, your potential sponsorship, endorsement deals and everything, it's not that great either. So it really just makes a lot more sense to just go to North America and build a brand there, right?
I agree with that. I think we can let's finish this topic. Do we all three agree? Go to North America?
Yeah, greatest region in the world. See you guys here, man.
Yeah, see you
guys. I mean, you guys
there.
might suck at competition, but at least you're playing, right?
Whoa, What's the world's win rate right now between EU and NA right
I think
now?
we all
0%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. We're all in the same boat together, though.
Hey, that's the best kind of boat, though. All right, let's go to the final everyone's favorite, the live question and answer segment. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got questions, we got answers. Question and answer segment, everyone's favorite. So let's get it started. We're going to start off. Let's just start off with Haluk Akon wants to know, Askar Adam Pie, why is Riot ignoring Arden so much? Dude, they nerfed Arden already, man. What else do you want from them? They nerfed it.
No, dude. They just don't want to nerf it to where it's a useless item. Like, that's the thing. Like, what they're doing is they nerf it and then they revert a buff. They nerf it and they half nerf it because they revert a nerf from before. It's actually terrible. So this time didn't they nerf the healing? They removed it, but then took back the scaling attack speed. So it goes from 25% to 35 now. Just nerf the item. It's not like I would say, especially after we're not on Worlds, you can experiment. You should experiment. Why are they so if they deleted the item, I'd be like, okay, let's see what happens. I just think it's weird 2 patches after Worlds. Worlds being played on 7.18. We're at 7.2, and the meta is still the same, if not more degenerate.
I mean, I
just gave up on Riot's designing team after they called their Jenna change a nerf. That was just the final nail in the coffin for me to lose faith in the balancing team.
I mean, the Jenna change was a shift in power. Which way it shifted, I'm not really sure, but it was something.
Oh,
for Arden Sensor though, I don't think that the item. Yeah, I think that it could use a small nerf. Maybe they're just doing it because they don't want to fucking nerf the item into oblivion, but I don't know, man. I just feel right now it's just too easy to stall out the game. There's nothing really to stop someone from just you never really have to do anything. Again, I just play my games. I get a fucking, alright, support, go heal. I'm gonna go barrier. I'm gonna take a fucking Targons and just AFK for 30 minutes. Alright, let's take one team fight. We won it. Alright, the game's over. Good shit, everyone. Right now there's nothing to push the tempo, so I don't hate, if they nerfed it, that'd be fine, but let me ask you, what do you think about, some people say for, Arden Sensor, why can't supports have an item like Infinity Edge for ADCs? Why can't it be like Arden Sensor? You don't think that they should have that core build?
I'm fine with them having a necessary item they build to multiply other things. What I care about is if it creates a meta where it's pretty unfun to play. And I don't know how many people enjoy the current meta, but I think the current meta, even for most of the AD carries, I talk to who don't like their current meta because it's built so much around being around the support. They're the ones carrying, but the supports have to be there. So you're literally tied at the hip to your support even more than in earlier metas. Do you like this meta, Keely?
I'm indifferent to it. I honestly, I'm getting pretty tired of it because I fucking hate running barrier heal and Targon. Yeah. You're never gonna fucking kill your lane opponent. Unless the jungler ganks for you, it's just if you all in them, they have plus 400 health, and you fight in the creep wave, and it's okay, well that was great, dude. And both people are just playing fucking AFK support, so I'm getting a little tired of it.
I'm okay with an item that people build around. I just think it promotes a bad version of League of Legends. I think the best version should have multiple different styles of play being available. And this right now, look at some of the Worlds games, man. Ignore the Gigabyte Marines game. That one doesn't count. But most of the Worlds games are literally just 12. 6 games, 12 ardent users. It's it makes the game really boring. 100%. There's not multiple styles. There's 1 or 2 styles, and people just beat each other up using the same.
Yeah, I caught the end of what was the final game? I think it was AHQ versus EDG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a 50-minute long game of just both ADs just AFKing, and then one fight happened, game's over. It's well, that was fucking great, dude. That shit was. I can't watch that shit. I can play it and it's fine. Watching it though, nerf that shit. Make it something fucking interesting. I want to see fucking engaged supports and like people actually fucking using their brand. So let's go with another topic. Let me see. King C wants to know, what do you think about current ADC meta, and should Relic be shut down away from ADCs, or is it a good idea to allow them to buy it? So do you guys think that it should be a support-only item? I'd say I'm okay with if they make it a support-only item, because I don't see what fucking champions are buying the support items other than like the most stupid shit. Yeah, stupid shit. Like,
dude, I don't care. Yeah, if you make it support only, I've always been down for Riot to push more like role or only oriented things for balance purposes.
Yeah, like I'm definitely okay if they decide like Relic Shield you can't buy it anymore. Like Mordekaiser, he's definitely gonna suffer a hit in the bot lane, but I don't think anyone's gonna give a fuck about that. Marcel, you got anything on that?
I mean, I just prefer that if, like you said, I think it's just very important to have like a variety of playstyles available, and if making like role-oriented items help push that, it's really good. I think the best meta is always when you have like the most variety in playstyles, where you can actually play team fight against split push and have multiple styles or something play against each other, and not really promote this very boring meta right now where you have to play a certain way, otherwise you just play this game. It's just really stupid.
Yeah, like I remember when I first started playing League, like when we first started playing competitive games, like I remember Scar would like talk to us about like, oh, they're going for like Nidalee poke kind of playstyle. We need to get hard engaged for this shit. Like they're going for like this split push heavy playstyle. Now it's just like they're going for Ardent Sensor support with a late game carry and a bunch of tanks, and they're gonna fucking AFK until they get the team fight. It's like there's none of that interesting dynamics going on anymore. It's just this garbage. So yeah, if doing that can change it back to the good old days, I'll be happy with it. But let me see. Next topic. Potato wants to know, at Dexter, would you ever go back to pro play? I miss CLG Dexter.
Ooh.
Oh my god, man. I mean, honestly, I thought about it like sometimes to just go back and play, but I don't know. I think I just enjoy my freedom way too much right now. I think that when I definitely wouldn't want to return in Europe, I would probably play in North America 100%. And right now, I'm just at the point where I think I moved on. You know, maybe I could have come back and play after Elements again, but I just felt that it was right to like move on and not play anymore, because honestly, I didn't want to sit down and play 10 hours of solo queue with fucking idiots that just tilt me. So I can't do it anymore. You know, I think I just have more fun doing other things now, or get more fulfillment out of not being good at the game, but rather helping people out with other stuff. So maybe, I mean, I thought about like multiple times to just give you like an answer, but it never really happened. So I never had a good enough opportunity to go back at pro.
You don't think so? You wouldn't go back. Let's say academy team, they need a hardened veteran. You wouldn't join that for NA? If an academy team was looking for, if TSM academy team was looking for,
I can only hear Scara.
Wait, he can't hear you.
I can't hear Cutie Pie.
Oh, you can't hear me? Alright, goodbye. Alright, then don't forget the question then. We're going on to the next one then. Scar, tell him forget about it.
They forget about it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, let me ask Scar, and I'm a
Can
Cutie
you translate?
Pie. Do you think?
Yeah, I'll translate.
Yeah, translate this one. Do you think other maps or game modes will ever be a part of the LCS, such as Twisted Treeline? And let me ask him as a bonus question: if not a part of the NA-LCS, do you think it can revitalize the EU LCS with Twisted Treeline?
Why did you choose this question? Do you think other game modes like Twisted Treeline could ever be used in an NA-LCS or in LCS in general? And if not in NA-LCS, do you think it could be used to revitalize EU LCS?
Probably. Might as well just do it, you know?
You chose the stupidest question.
Wait, what do you think, Sky? Because this guy, he's obviously asking it because he's a big fan of Twisted Tree Line. This guy probably plays more Twisted Tree Line than all of us combined, so.
Yeah, and some people out there do that. I don't look down on people who play Twisted Tree Line.
Yeah, I'm saying though, he's dedicated his life to Twisted Tree Line. You don't think that?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I would say that it actually might be a competitive map, but it is a map with no interest. Unfortunately,
that's bullshit, Sky. All right, let's go with the final question, man. The final question coming from Blatt: who's going to win Worlds?
Did you hear that, Dexter? Or can you still not hear him?
Yeah, I could hear it actually. That's the only question I could hear. Okay.
Sick.
Yeah, you want to go with a very bold decision or bold guess?
Let's go with bold guesses. Yeah, bold guesses.
Bold guesses.
I'm gonna go with SKT. Or this one's gonna be. I'm gonna throw this one in there. Longzhu, maybe.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go with one of those. You guys, what do you think?
Wow, dude, that was so out of the box. Man.
Yeah.
How could you have expected
Don't
that?
copy my answer now. What do you guys think?
TSM.
TSM? Okay, I can see.
G2.
G2?
G2 is gonna win.
All right, there you go, dude.
Did you see their game yesterday? I'm just curious. There's no relation.
It's just the first day. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Shit, We'll come back later in the tournament. There's still plenty of days left.
Oh God, I didn't realize you brought a delusional EU fan on the show.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's your answer, my friend. If you want to put money on it, I would advise Sky is an analyst, so put money on his. If he says TSM, put your life savings on TSM.
Honestly, just think about what the odds are right now. Probably like 1 to 200. You could make 200 times back your initial investment,
or you can make 0 back. So.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah. But anyways, that's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen, for Beyond the Rift. Thank you for tuning in. I want to give a shout out first and foremost to our beautiful guest Marcel for joining us. Marcel, if the people want more of you, where can they find you?
Yeah, they can find me on Twitter, and I think probably Twitter is like the most active source right now, where I'm like reading daily open DMs. I have an email. I'm a real professional now with an email set up, so it's all my profile on Twitter at Marcel Feldkamp, just my name. And if you want updates from how bad Europe is doing, just follow me on Twitter. I will make sure to post everything down.
Scarrett, if the people want more of you, my friend, where can they get you?
You can find me on Twitter at Skara, and then I'll be streaming on Twitch.tv right after this.
And that's going to be it for me. You guys already know where to find me. I'm here every day. But tune in next Thursday for the next Beyond the Rift, because it's going to be another kooky and crazy adventure. But thank you for tuning in for today. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll catch you next week. Goodbye.